Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Julee Slovacek Peterson. She is a world champion when it comes to armored combat. We'll share her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I feel very safe right now because if any lunatic were to run into our studios, he would be taken down by my next guest. Julee Slovacek Peterson is in the studio, and she's a world champion when it comes to armored combat. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, well, why don't we start by you pulling one of the long swords, because you have 2 at your side.
Yes. Here we go.
Look at that. All right, just so you know, any crazy person who wants to come in here, don't do it now. All right, so how did this begin for you? How long have you been involved in this?
Well, let me start out by saying back a long time ago, when I was 8, I got into martial arts. So since I've been 8 years old, I've been in some sort of martial art. And then in 2015, my daughter, I homeschooled her at the time, my daughter wanted to learn how to use a sword. And I was excited because I've always wanted to learn how to use a sword. So I started getting information, where to go, found a class, checked it out. It checked out by me, so I took her. And she enjoyed it, but it wasn't quite what she was looking for. And she did try it out for a month. And then whenever she decided she was done, I told my husband, I was like, oh, I'm sad because I really enjoyed it. And he said, well, why can't you continue going? I'm like, oh, because, you know, the kids. He said, I've got the kids at night. You can go. And so in 2015 began my sword journey.
Okay, and you went from just total amateur to world champ. How long did that take?
Let's see. From 2015, my first world championship that I got to attend, because they kept getting canceled due to, you know, various things in the world. That was 2023. Yeah, 2023.
Wow, incredible. Tell us about the discipline that it takes to be a world champ.
So it takes consistency. Your eating needs to be on point. Your sleep is priority. You have to schedule your sleep as if you were scheduling a business meeting. It's most important. And your training has to be consistent. You can't go one time and then not show up for 2 days.
Sure.
It's day in, day out, sometimes twice a day.
And you've incorporated this into your fitness business. We're going to pull up your Instagram page. It's Lone Star Knight is the Instagram handle. As we scroll down this, tell us how you've incorporated this into your fitness business.
So whenever I got done with I didn't really get done, but whenever I got to a certain level, my own trainer said that he was going to start a new adventure and he was going to give me some of his clients. So I started training people and realized I had a knack for it. I had also been working at a little kickboxing place since 2017 called 9 Round. So I already had the interaction with people and understanding what it was like to interact with people on a training gym level. So I went in and got a couple of certifications. I began training people, and I would integrate some of the ways I trained, but not to that intensity, because I would meet people where they were at. And then in January of this year, I began developing a recovery program for, you know, not only people that were in my group, but people that just wanted to learn how to modulate their nervous system.
Yeah. Well, you were talking to me before the show that you had a health setback, and part of your recovery has to do with this sport.
Yes. So in January, what they call it is called sudden sensory neural hearing loss. And if your hearing ever goes out suddenly, you want to get to a doctor within 72 hours. That is so important because they will start you on the proper medications to hopefully retrieve your hearing. anyway, whenever I went to my fourth doctor, it was a neurotologist, not a neurologist, neurotologist. He wanted me to forego any heavy training, cardio, don't get hit in the head, and he wanted me to just, take a relaxing route and let's see how things were going to progress. One day I just, that's a death sentence to someone like me. Yes. And one day I was just sitting there looking at my swords, and there was a split moment where I was thinking, I'm done. And as soon as the word done came out, I knew that wasn't me. That was not me. That was some unknown entity. I picked up my sword, I walked outside, and I just started doing gentle flows. I would do my breath work, and I'm a big proponent of breath work. And then I started praying as I would do these flows. And I would go out the next night, do these flows, then the next night. And I began to notice that my nervous system, and I began healing, but my nervous system started settling down, and the noises in my ears, because there was like crazy tinnitus noises, they were settling down.
Wow.
And the calmer I became, my body began to take over and start healing itself.
Okay, you also have a very successful fitness business. We're going to show some pictures off of Instagram of some of your happy clients. Tell us about this side of your company.
So Fight Camp Fit started out of the way that my own trainer used to train me. Mm-hmm. When we would go into 8 weeks before a competition, he'd say, all right, Julie, you're in Fight Camp. And whenever I started my business, that's the name that popped in my head, Fight Camp Fit by Julie. And the reason I call it Fight Camp Fit, because it's not just for athletes going and training for competitions and whatnot. It's for anyone and, everyday people trying to find their best life. And that's what we're doing. We're fighting for our best life.
I love it. We have another video off of your Instagram, and I'll have you narrate this as we... So what are we looking at? Is this a typical workout?
This is a group of my great ladies, and they're doing strength training. And most of those ladies were people that only did cardio before they met me. And matter of fact, 2 of those met me at the 9 round. And whenever I started the business, I showed them how to be in the gym with the weights, not be intimidated by the weights, and how building strength builds your bone density. Yes. And building strength helps you as you age into your older years. And they are loving it. They've been with me for well over 2 years now.
And anyone can join a gym, but having a personal fitness trainer makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does. For encouragement, for spotting, for making sure that you're doing the correct movement, the correct way. And just for general guidance and morale.
All right, we're going to bookend this show by going back to Armored Combat. This is not just good for your mind; it's good for your body and soul. I mean,
Right.
if somebody took this up as a sport, they're really improving all facets of their life.
They are. As a matter of fact, something just popped in my mind about we have a lot of veterans in our sport, and they find the camaraderie in the sport like they had found whenever they were, in the military.
Sure.
And it's a great sight to see. We've also have women that have gone through trauma. I myself have some trauma in my history, and people that knew me way back then thought this is why I got into the sport, to deal with the trauma. I'd already dealt with the trauma, but it did help build more confidence. Mm-hmm. And I owe a lot to this sport for the way it has improved my life and given me strength.
Outstanding. Well, I can't thank you enough for sharing your journey with us. We're going to end with her Instagram page. It's Lone Star Knight is the handle. The great Julee Slovacek Peterson. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it for now.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.